Welcome. My name is Denise Harrell. I'm your child's teacher. I'm going to be going over a PowerPoint, hopefully touching all the things that are in the handbook that's on your child's desk. After we've gone over this, there is a page at the back that I need you to sign, and you can sign it tonight and leave it, or you can take the handbook home tonight and then go over it with your child and then return the last page. On top of your child's desk, you will also find a science contract. If you'll go ahead and pull that out right now. We have been discussing how we're supposed to act in the science lab. Wearing safety goggles, listening and making sure that we're not touching things that we're not supposed to, following directions, and just for the safety of your child. So the kids have already signed theirs. If you would please sign it and then leave it at your child's desk. They're all very excited. We will be doing an experiment, I believe, starting this week, and then we do science every other week. So we'll continue the experiment for several weeks, and they won't be able to participate in this one unless that sheet is signed. So they're all excited about their first lab. And you can just leave that on your child's desk. I'll go ahead and start. I'll start with our PowerPoint and give you a little information about me. I think everybody can hear me, so. All right, I already said welcome. This will be my 16th year in KDISD. I've been teaching 15 years. 8 years have been here in Winborn, and 8 of those years have been in 2nd grade. Previously to that, I taught in Grapevine Polydale ISD, which is between Dallas and Fort Worth, up that way. Really loved it there. Taught there for 7 years. And my family, I have, my husband is Jerry. I have 2 daughters, Brittany and Allison, and then we have 3 dogs. Of course, we have to mention our pets. So that's just a little bit about me. I love to read. One of my favorite things. Yes, I have a helper. Yay! This is our schedule for the day. In the morning when the kids come, they get here about 8:10. From 8:10 to 8:30, that's when they start getting ready. You'll notice over here on the right, every day we have homework. Every Monday it will be spelling. Every Tuesday it will be reading. Every Wednesday it will be math. Every Thursday is spelling and fast facts, and then Friday we read. That is across the grade level. So the homework that I'm having for tonight, the one that your students had in their notebook, is the same for each of the teachers in 2nd grade. So we try to stay consistent. So if for any reason you misplace that, or your child misplaces it, you might be able to call a friend that you know their child is in 2nd grade and have it run off real quick, because I know that does happen. But this is placed up there every day, and we go over it every day so that the students know and understand what's supposed to be done that night. They have a homework folder. We put the homework inside the homework folder. We put it in our desk. At the end of the day, we take the homework folder out and we put it inside our backpack. We're still working on some of these, as you can tell, because some people have already said, I think I forgot my homework. These are all things that the responsibilities that students are having to learn in 2nd grade. We try to give them as much of the responsibility as possible. If you find that your child is consistently forgetting their homework, I can assign them a buddy, and that buddy can say, hey, don't forget, put your homework folder inside your backpack. So I know they get excited, because at the end of the day we get to chit-chat a little bit with our friends. So that kind of just gives us our homework for the week. And in the morning time, that's when they're writing in their planner their announcements. This is also the time that they go use the restroom. They can get a drink, fill up water bottles, whatever they want, and they sharpen 2 pencils. You may have already noticed that the pencils break frequently. They probably came home and said, oh, I sharpened and I sharpened and I sharpened. I sharpened about 30 or 40 this morning. They were all gone. They're usually in the pink bucket over there. They were all gone by mid-afternoon, and the kids were like, can we have another one? I try to limit the amount of use of the pencil sharpener, because they'll sit there all day long. And you just get your pencil sharpened and then it breaks inside. So I need to get that replaced. But we try to tell them to have at least 2 pencils sharpened in the morning. Then when they go for lunch, I usually come back and sharpen a bunch more on the electric pencil sharpener, which, by the way, if y'all see Mrs. Griffin, she is our ESOL teacher that comes into our classroom and helps with the students. She helps all students, not just ESOL students. She bought our classroom the pencil sharpener. So I was so excited. She came, she goes, Merry Christmas. It's like, oh, You would think that it was just a brand new car or something. I was so excited. But I told the kids, Mrs. Harrell is the one that will use the pencil sharpener because second graders tend to jam those. So I try to restock the pencil supply about midday so that we have more pencils. And then I know at the end of the day we had some kids going, I don't have any more pencils. And I just told them, you know, please turn to a friend and say, can I please borrow a pencil? And we didn't have any problems with that. I did also have some students bring mechanical pencils. I don't mind mechanical pencils. If you would like to have your child bring one, that's fine. I told them I don't supply lead or anything like that, so they would have to supply that on their own. Moving on to our day. In the morning, we are doing Reader's Workshop from 8:30 to 10:10. Reader's Workshop consists of a small mini lesson. We might be talking about connections. Today we talked about connections, how students have connections with books. Maybe a self-to-text connection. Ooh, this reminds me of the time I spent the night with my friends. Or a text-to-text connection. Oh, I read this book on Jeannie B. Jones, and it reminds me of Judy Moody, because they both took a funny vacation. Or we can also talk about text-to-world connections, and that deals with how the book reminds them of something that's happening in our world. So we're talking about those right now in our Reader's Workshop. That's a mini lesson. I show an example, I have them participate with me, and then they go back and show me that they can do it. As they're working on their mini lesson, I'm walking around and conferring with the students. Tell me why you wrote that. We all have a journal, and we will respond in the journal, and I might say, tell me why you wrote that. Why did you write that? What made you think of this? And just see if they can communicate with me what they're thinking of. In addition to the mini lesson, we do the read aloud. I have a book and I share it with the kids, and I am modeling to them what good readers do, some strategies that we use. And then they go back and we will discuss it next in the mini lesson the next day so that they remember, oh, Mrs. Harrell did that yesterday. And now we're doing it in our mini lesson today. I've told you a little bit about the conferring. I'll be walking around the classroom talking with each of the students individually. I really am excited about using this new tool in our classroom. I went to Becky Hazel, Lucy Calkins, staff development this summer, really talked about how this really helps your child grow as a reader when I'm spending that one-on-one time with them. And we'll be doing a lot of that. We're still using the small groups where I'll take a small group of students all reading on the same level, and I'll bring them to my table and we'll all be reading the same book, and we'll be talking about the characters, the beginning, middle, and end, and things like that. In addition to those small groups, we'll have strategy groups. Strategy groups are a little different in that the students that I pull may not all be reading on the same level. I may have some reading on a J, a K, an O, but they're all having the same problem. They're all having a problem maybe with context clues, trying to figure out how to solve a word. I'll bring them all together and we can talk on one strategy that way. So I'm really excited about our new Reader's Workshop this year, and all the teachers in second grade are utilizing this. After our Reader's Workshop, we go into Writer's Workshop. We have our writing journal. We're taking really small steps, working on ideas right now, and then we're going to take one of our ideas, and we'll expand on that idea and write about it, and then we'll go into punctuation, capitalization, and grammar. We'll talk about how we extend those stories so that we're writing a little bit more. Right now, our students are wanting to maybe read something, or write something very quickly. And tell me about the time, your most exciting day. My birthday, we went to Chuck E. Cheese. The end. And you're going, great. So we'll take those sentences and we'll expand them, and we'll expand those ideas. So we're really looking, you'll be amazed. At the end of the year, we have a day that you come in and read all the stories that your child has written. And you can see that progression from the beginning of the year to the end of the year and how much they have grown as a writer. It's really amazing. The next stop in our schedule is spelling and handwriting word study. Our spelling this year is Zaner Bloser, and we will be getting our books in the next couple of weeks. It's a new adoption. You'll notice that I sent home, hopefully, I sent home the first 3 weeks for spelling on a worksheet. If you've lost it, just let me know and I'll try to get you another one. And those will be for the first 3 weeks. Those are the words that we'll be looking for. And those are our second grade core words that the students should know. A lot of those words are coming up from first grade. And we will be taking spelling tests on Fridays. They will count as 2 grades. This is one of those that the students will not be able to retake. They will only take it one time, even if they make below a 70. You'll notice in the grading, on the grading handbook, on the handbook under grading, it says major tests that are counted twice. The student will be allowed to retake for a higher grade. Spelling, reading rubrics, which are when I am reading with your child and they are reading to me, and writing samples are 3 things that will not be redone because of how long it takes for that student to complete that project. And for spelling, there's not any other spelling grade. We would have to be going over and over that spelling each time, every day. So those are the 3 things that we don't retest on. Handwriting is also Zaner Bloser. When I was a kid, that's what we used. It's, you know, kind of like the stick and then the little circle. It's very basic. We're trying to go away from the tail. And it's going to take a little bit of time because your children started learning the manuscript in kindergarten, and they've been using it for a couple of years at least. So now we're going to go back to the block. It will take a few, I'm thinking at least a couple of years before they get into the new handwriting system. Word study is, we take words, and this week we have been playing with words. I give them several little cutout letters, or they cut them out, and then we play with how many 2-letter words, 3-letter words, 4-letter words we can make with those letters, and then what's the big word? What can we make with all those? And the kids have really come up with some really creative. In fact, today somebody said something, and I went, yeah, I got that one too. So I was like, you got one that I didn't get, so that's wonderful. So we're really looking at word study in the, how we use the words and being able to own those words so that when we see them in our reading, we can understand what they mean. After that, we have our favorite subject of all time, and that is recess. Recess is from 11:15 to 11:30. During that time, the kids go outside as long as the weather is permitted. We go outside for a 15-minute period. Students are allowed to, as long as they're following the rules, they're allowed to go out there and play and blue and yellow, all the things with all the other classrooms.